Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Here are 21 useful Mac tips in 8 minutes. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon to read more about it, join us, and get exclusive content. So let's jump right into the tips. If you want to easily type a long word, just type the first few characters, then tap the F5 key. You may need to hold down the FN key depending upon your settings. And then you get a list of words that start with those letters. You can go and down arrow to the one you want, hit return, and it's typed for you and spelled correctly. And this works in apps like TextEdit, Pages, and even Mail. If you have a lot of windows open for an app and you want to jump to one, even one that you might not be able to see because it's hidden behind others, you can click and hold on the item in the dock, and here you'll see a list of windows that are currently open and you can select one to go to it. You also see a list of recently opened documents. If you have a document that when you double click it, it always opens in the wrong app, you can control click on it and choose Open With to open it in any app that handles that type of document. And if you hold down the Option key, Open With changes to Always Open With, and your next selection then will change what happens when you double click on that app. If you want to move a file from one folder to another in the Finder, you can open two Finder windows and drag and drop between them. But you could also do it with just one Finder window open using copy and paste. So you select the file that you want and you can do Edit Copy or Command C. Then you could go to the folder that you want to move it to, and you can either use Command V to put a duplicate of that item there, or Option Command V and it will move the item to that location. You probably know you can hit Command Space and use the Spotlight search box to perform basic calculations. But you can actually perform calculations that you can't even do in a calculator app. So for instance, I can do 2 plus 4 times 5 plus 1 using parentheses there, and that's difficult to do in a calculator because of the order of operations. You can also do unit conversions. So using the Spotlight menu I can do something like 7 feet and you could see it's going to give me an automatic conversion to 2.13 meters. If that's not the conversion you wanted, you can look here on the right and see more options, or just use the word 2 and something else like miles or inches. You can also do currency conversions here. So for instance, I could see something is $16 and you'll see it converts it to euros. And here it gives me some more options, or I could just type 2 and get exactly the currency that I want. If you delete a file by moving it to the trash and then later on decide you want to get it back, you can go into the trash can, you can control click on the file, and there'll be an option to put it back. It remembers which folder it came from, and when you use Put Back it goes back to that location. You probably know that if you select a file and you want to get info on it, you can use Command I or File Get Info. But this window will stick with that current file no matter what is selected. However, if instead of Command I you use Command Option I, then it changes to Show Inspector. And this will bring up a window that changes with your selection. So here it's showing me the info for this file, but if I click here it will change to show me the info for the selected file. You could set the background of a folder to a color or an image. You have to be in icon view, and then go to View, Show View Options, or Command J. And at the bottom you'll see Background, Default Color, or Picture. You can change to color and then select a color for the background, or you can change to picture and then drag and drop an image there and it becomes the background for that folder. See these buttons here at the top right? These are called menu bar icons, and you can change the order of any of them except the two here on the right. This is very useful, especially because sometimes menus extend and knock off the first few of these. So you want to have your most important ones to the right. Just hold the Command key and drag left or right here to change the order that they're in. You could also drag down and out to remove them. When replying to somebody in mail, sometimes you don't want to quote the entire message back to them, just the part that you want to respond to. Go to Mail Preferences and under Composing select Include Selected Text if any, otherwise include all text. Then you can select just a piece of the original message, hit Reply, And the quote will only include that piece, not their entire message. When you have multiple tabs open in Safari, you can use the Control key, not Command but Control and Tab, to move between them, and it loops through. You can also use Shift and Tab with the Control key to go backwards. You can use the Command key and a number to jump to any tab. So Command 2 jumps to the second tab, Command 3 to the third tab, and Command 9 will always jump to the last tab no matter how many tabs are open. In the Finder you won't be able to easily find your library folder, but if you use the Go menu and hold down the Option key, Library appears as one of the options and you can jump right to your user library folder quickly. A good time management tool is to have your Mac announce the time every so often. You can go to System Preferences and then Date and Time, and under Clock you can turn on Announce the Time and have it on the hour, half hour, or quarter hour, and even customize which voice your Mac uses to tell you the time. In the Calendar app you don't have to click on a certain date and then fill out a form to add an event. You can just use the plus button here and then type in plain English, something like this. And the entire event is added with the date and time and title all set. When you're looking at a folder in the Finder here, you can hold the Command key and click on the title at the top to move up to any level above that folder. But if you just want to move to the level right above it, just use Command and the up arrow to instantly go there. When you want to type an accent mark over a letter, all you need to do is press the letter on your keyboard, like say the letter E, and hold it down for a second. Then you get a list of options here. You can click one with the mouse or just hit its number to use that accent mark. If you want to type a special character or emoji, all you need to do is hold the Control and Command keys down and press the space bar. You get this special window here where you can scroll through all the different special characters that you want. You can also use the search bar at the top to narrow it down to select the specific character and just double click it to add it to your document. When you want to go back to a web page that you've been to before, you can use your Safari history. You can also search your history by selecting Show All History, and then you can use the search box here at the top to narrow things down. If you want to delete a lot of text, you can press the Delete key over and over again or hold the Delete key down to slowly delete character by character. But you can also hold down the Option key to delete one word at a time, or the Command key to delete all the way back to the beginning of that line. So you can very quickly delete a lot of text. I publish new tutorials every weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. Then hit the little bell icon to get notifications for each new tutorial.